black cats got Dave N. The white hats, they got Doug. The Google search engine has it.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another edition of the Jim and Ann Show. Yay! So today we're gonna talk about
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Whenever Google says anything, even if it's in foreign language, we'll pick it up and blow it up.
That's what surprised me. Aaron Wall found this. So Google at one point on what country was it? Do you remember?
Portuguese.
Portuguese on their Google's Portuguese Webmaster blog. They said something to the effect of you shouldn't even ask for links.
And
That's against the guidelines.
We found it, and we blogged about it all over the place.
I think it was Aaron Wall. Was he the original one to find it?
I don't know. I first saw it, on various words. I'm not sure where it was coming from.
So yeah, the SEOs found it, even on the Portuguese blog, I guess. Who knows what SEOs are watching out there, but good catch. And it was kind of interesting because I was, for the first couple of days, the big news around SEO Town was, wow, you can't even ask people to link. And I guess my second thought was, well, how's Google going to know? If unless I put it in an email, will you please link to me? And then someone's going to pass it on to Google and be like, he asked for the link! I'm like, oh, geez, where's this going to lead? Which was fairly interesting. But then what, a couple days later, Google came out and said, well, we're going to revise that post a little bit. You can ask for links, but it can't be anything that violates our Google guidelines. So I guess you can ask for a link, and will you link to me? That's okay, but if I say, Ann, here's $20, will you link to me? That's bad. Or if you say, Ann, I have some great new coffee. There we go. I've got some great new coffee, this Ninja coffee, and I'd love to send you a whole bunch of coffee. Can you blog about how wonderful you think the coffee is and give me a link to Ninja coffee? That's bad, right?
Yeah.
That's bad. So you got to be careful about what you say.
Yeah, there are so many cases like
link to us, but don't violate Google's guidelines when you do it.
Or maybe some disclaimer.
There you go.
All I'm asking is not against Google rules.
There you go.
Like that. One question here. What if someone talks about my website but doesn't link? Like just uses my brand name.
Ooh.
What if
that may be as good as
I email that person and say, hey, you mentioned me but you didn't link to me. Could you link? Is that fine?
It was just they wrote the blog post all natural because they...
And they for example, they quoted me.
Well, I think now they would say it's okay. A couple days ago, if you lived in Portugal, you'd be in trouble. but I think today you'd be okay, at least in the U.S. on that.
I miss the times when it was so clear, like you pay for links, you're bad. You do not pay for links, you're fine. Now it's all so fuzzy. You have no idea where that gray area starts.
And there is, let's go into another gray area about giving people products. Can you give someone a whole bunch of coffee and say, hey, can you write a review about my coffee?
What if you don't ask for a review and just send the coffee and that person blogs about it? Should you email and say, hey, no, follow that link because I sent you that coffee?
Can you put a disclaimer that says I gave you that coffee for free?
Yeah, like where that starts. Like what if you don't ask but they do, but they have no clue about anything, like no follow, disclaimer, anything. They just liked your coffee and they blogged about it.
Now we're in
Should you be worried? Should you be worried? Like, as the one who sent that coffee, should you be worried? Because you didn't ask.
Years ago,
But no one will know that you didn't ask.
That's true. It used to be, I don't think it was the official statement, but I think it was, I guess the unofficial, how do I say, Michael Gray had sent Matt Cutts an email, and after talking with Michael Gray about it a little, he told me a little bit about what had been said. So this is all hearsay, keep in mind. But it was there was a couple of links that were referenced. I think one was it download.com and some other place that does reviews of computers. And what basically the rules were in a nutshell here was if I say, coffee is the bad example, but if I say, Ann, I've got a computer and I'm going to send it to you and I want you to review it. If you write up a review and you link to, I don't know whose computer this is, Dell or something. If you link to Dell, let's say it's Dell.
Mine is Mac.
Mac, all right, there you go, the Mac. If you link to Mac, if you link to them and you keep the computer, then you're against the guidelines because they gave you something. But if you link to them and return the computer to Mac, say, hey, thank you for letting me test try the new computer. I wrote a review on it. It's over here, and here's your computer back. And then you can follow the link. And so so that was kind of the general rule is if you were given something that you were going to keep, then you had to either no follow the link, plus probably say it's all sponsored and I was given stuff, and but if you returned it, then you were okay. So, Ann, let's say I sent you a little carry cup, 1 carry cup of Ninja coffee, and I said, Ann, can you write about the Ninja coffee? Now, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to take 1 sip and then pour the rest back in a package and say, all right, Jim, that was a really good sip. I followed your link and I returned the rest of the coffee to you. What are you supposed to do?
What if it's a book? I get free books all the time.
Oh, that brings up a whole Amazon topic now. Amazon's removing reviews from people you know, which is weird. So if you write a book and you give it out to 100 people you know, Google may remove all those 100 reviews because you know them.
And they got those free books too, but that's how you build it.
What if you sell like flowers or something? Can you send a blogger a bouquet of roses? I guess you probably could send them a bouquet of roses and not say much. Like, hey, I love your blogging. Here's a dozen roses. If someone sent you that, Ann, you'd probably be like, oh my God, this was sent from Bob Smith. You'd probably be on Twitter being like, Bob Smith rules. But if you kept those flowers, you'd have to be like, this is a paid endorsement. I got flowers, but
that's all weird stuff.
I got them for free. So there's an interesting gray line. Google, what they had this was years ago, but they had a big conference and they gave everyone an Android phone. Guess what everyone did? Thank you, Google. They all wrote about it, and they got to keep their phones. Come on.
Do what we say, not what we do.
Yeah. Here, wait. I'm going to go crazy. You ready? Can you link to me, please? There.
What are you giving?
A couple days ago, I would have been in trouble for that. Dare me say, "Can you link to me?" But today I'm more ballsy because they changed the thing so I can ask for it.
What if I've sent it to a bunch of bloggers and they keep it and they blog about it? I can ask for the link, right? Like, hey, here is my free book. If you like it, why don't you blog about it?
Or if they don't like it? See, here's another thing. Are you manipulating it?
If you don't like it, just don't do it. Anything.
But that's almost a manipulation. You should say, here is a book, write about it. Whether it's good or bad, feel free to write about it.
I get so many requests like, hey, you wrote about reputation management, and we have a free tool, and we have a free white paper about that. Do you think you could include in your old article the link to that reputation management? Because it solves this problem that you mentioned, for example.
Yep. Yeah.
Am I being fine?
Well, there's a whole question. If you say that it's free, is it really? I guess if it's free on the website, there's a whole interesting value. What if we told people you can use this cool new tool of ours if you link to it?
Nah.
It's free.
What if it's free?
Yeah, it's a free tool. Hey, I'll give away a free tool. Anyone links to it? It's yours. Use it.
This is fine. I would guess.
That went away in.
Yeah, but I will not mention the company because I already bragged about that on Facebook and I don't want them to have trouble. But they are free too, which I love. And I keep mentioning them throughout my several articles. And instead of saying thanks to me, they emailed me about my other article saying, hey, we would love to be mentioned there too. And I was like, guys, I already mentioned you here, and there. And again, they was like, thank you, but we also mention us there as well.
See, are these the people that are trying to, what is it called, a link reclamation?
Yeah.
You know, and that's just wrong. Don't do that. I mean, if Ann mentions your company or anyone like mentions your company, it's pretty much a citation. If you don't have any, if no one ever mentions your company outside of a link, that's probably not good. It's probably good to every now and then like mention Internet Marketing Ninjas and not link to us. Like, that's a citation. It's still looked at by Google. It's like a link. And if you don't have any of those and all that you're trying to do is, well, gee, there's these 50 people that mentioned us, but they didn't link to us, and you go and you remove those, that could actually mess up the equation because that may not be natural. Real brands are going to have mentions without links. It just happens. I'm happy if someone mentions our brand, and I would never write to someone and be like, can you turn that into a link? Maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years ago I would
say
but
it's even cheap for a brand. Like it's even cheap if you're a brand and you start chasing those mentions and ask for links instead of them. I would say it somehow devalues. And the bad thing about that is that you already mentioned. There are chances that that person who mentioned you are your brand ambassador, and now you ask for more.
Should start with thank you.
Thank
you very much for referencing us.
I got many bad requests like, hey, you mentioned us, but I noticed that you have only a free account. As a thanks to you, we would like to upgrade you for free. Feel free to use our tool more. That would result in probably more links from me, because that's a good thanks. No one is asking for more. They're giving something to me, and I already mentioned those guys, so they know that I like them, and they're just giving me more without asking anything. So chances are I will mention those guys again and again in the future articles because they thanked me and they were so nice, and but
the person who you mentioned a few times and then they said, oh, can you add our link to this page? Probably not gonna.
Yeah, I don't even feel like mentioning that company anymore after that, because I blogged so much about them, and they, instead of thanks, they were like, okay, but can you also mention us there because you forgot to link or anything?
Try not to look like a dirty SEO just trying to get backlinks. Like, that's just, you know, I think that's the whole thing. It's like someone's been told, you know, you're going to find all references and you're going to write to all of them, and they don't think about it. And they just come off sounding like a dirty SEO trying to get links. And you probably get more links with honey than you do from bug spray or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and especially if you do blogger outreach, those people are public. Many of those cases do go public and do cause reputation management problems. So be very careful, and don't let your interns or any like first year employees do that outreach too, because that's a dangerous brand.
Because we get those emails from like companies and people who we know. It's like, and suddenly you get an email from like one of their interns, and you're just like, what? You know, does Bob know that their interns are doing this? Like, you know,
yeah, I've had that happen a lot.
And so it's like we email at least I email the company. I'm like, hey, you know, just letting you know I got this email.
Yeah, that would cause trouble. I always email the CEO as well with anything like that for him to know, because that could cause trouble. I will not go public with that because I understand where it's coming from, but I would make sure that the CEO knows, because that could cause a lot of trouble from other people.
Yep. I did a post years ago about the paying for links and no following links and the rule, and instead of being about coffee, it was about hot fudge. So if you want to read that post as well, you can do a search for Jim Boykin hot fudge, and you'll find an old post. I saw Matt at a conference a little while after that, and he was like, I saw your post about the hot fudge. You know, you're kind of pressing the line there a little bit. Well, that's what I do. Yeah, what do you say to the hot fudge? Because the hot fudge was something where I had a client that sold these like little 8-ounce jars, and it's like, am I supposed to send it to people and say, can you take a spoonful and send the rest of the jar back to us? Like, come on. Yeah. Maybe anything under $10 should be like, that doesn't count as a paid link or something. I don't know. You know, a little can of hot fudge.
I wish we had those clear guidelines as to what is great and what is fine.
Grayish? Can you have a grayish guideline? Here's the stuff that's
Google
obviously
does.
black. Here's the stuff that's obviously white. And then there's a bunch of stuff in the middle that's,
And that's more
grayish.
That's the majority of all cases. We don't know.
I don't think we'll get the grayish guidelines anytime soon.
Yeah. But for Google, I can understand where it's coming from. Whatever they say, it blows up. So when they try to explain those grayish things, we interpret them in so ridiculous ways. So I feel for them, really.
But the good news is today you can ask for a link. Today you can ask for a link. A couple days ago it was dangerous. Today,
It's fine.
can you link to me, please? I would really appreciate it.
Me too. Yeah.
Link to us. Link to Internet Marketing Ninjas, please. And we're in the guidelines. Just don't do it in a way that's outside of the guidelines. Do it in the guidelines.
Whatever they are.
There we go. Whatever they are today. Tomorrow they could change, but do the guidelines that are in place today. If 3 years from now the guidelines have changed to where whatever you did today was bad, we'll have to either no follow it or write to you and disavow it or something and be like, I know it was fine 3 years ago when you gave us the link because we asked for it, but now they're saying any link you ever asked for you got to remove, and then they'd be like, oh man, 3 years ago we asked during a blogging thing here if someone would link to us, and I don't know, but happy linking, and it's
today it's fine.
Yeah, today it's fine.
Let's leave for today.
So link on.